Guys, alright, I will make this part a little shorter because I'm always doing this because I want to think a bit shorter than what I've imagined. So, let's get to this part, let's get this over with, and we'll just get out of the way, right? Alright, let's go. By the time Bobby leaves the stage an hour later, Lance is giving up dancing, which Keith is grateful for. It's still too far hot for that. He doesn't, however, move away. Despite the heat, he stands close, one arm wrapped loosely around his back, hand rested on his hip. It seems a casual enough gesture, but Keith notices the care with which he doesn't quite touch his exposed waist. His thumb, however, makes it slow. Delicate circles around his bare hip bone, and Keith is ashamed at how much that simple touch affects him. With no better way to stand, Keith's arm made its way around Lance's waist several songs ago. People shouting through the crowd nudged him closer, bumped to his side, causing him to stumble closer to Lance's side. Lance's arm tightened around him, and Keith had simply move away. When Wilby makes their way off stage, he's been standing his head on Lance's shoulder, hands drumming a pattern onto his thigh, and Lance hit for the past three songs. The crowd starts to shift, everyone turning to their companions or deciding to wander, seeking food or drinks or anywhere out of the sun. Keith watches them, feels everyone become restless around them, no longer held captive by music. He watches it with rinsing sense of dread. He doesn't want to move. He's comfortable here. He's hot and sweating, and Lance's proximity isn't exactly helping, but he doesn't mind. He finds himself holding his breath, willing the moment to stretch, last. But then Lance is shifting, hands slipping from one hip, sliding across his exposed lower rectum to rest on the other as he takes a step away, turning to face him. Keith has to lift his head and is forced to remove his own arm from around him. He gazes up at Lance, trying to project casual curiosity and not the disappointment he feels. But Lance is smiling, sweat gleaming at his temples and his eyes rivaling the sky, making Keith's eyes all fluttering and nauseous. So, maybe it isn't all so bad. You thirsty? He signs with one hand, leaving the other casually on Keith's hip. He specifically used the sign for alcohol. Keith raised his eyebrow, the rest of his face blank his sides. The beer here is really crappy and really expensive. Lance shrugs, easy grin, not deterred, and says, I'm buying. His eyes widen at that, eyebrows shooting toward his hairline. His lips parted for a moment before he pursed them, sighing quickly. Did you notice the whole expensive part? Another shrug, a wider grin. His hand slid up on Keith's hip, achingly slow enough to give Keith time to pull away to stop him, slow enough that he feels every agonizing inch, the heat and smoothness of his long fingers as they creep up into his skin, over the swell of his hip, fingers splayed wide, feeling everything. His hand doesn't go far, stops right on the curve of his waist, but it feels like an eternity passes. Keith can't look away from his eyes, even as he feels his lips part and heat fill his chest, blooming from the simple touch at his side and spreading out. Keith focuses on Lance's moving hand to keep from falling apart. Loud music, overpriced drinks. If we had been, this might be considered a date. Keith feels a sly smirk curving his lips, encouraged and fed by Lance's cocky grin, driven by a change that sparked in his eyes, empowered by the sudden desire to see that grin falter, to play his game and win. Putting one hand on Lance's hip, the other lying flat on his chest, he leans in close, feeling how Lance stiffens, head pulling back just a fraction in his surprise, eyes wide. In what he hopes is a husky whisper, he says, You buy drinks, and I'll buy dinner. He leans back, admiring the way his mask cracks, the way he gapes, and a cute little flush on his cheeks, before throwing back his head and laughing. He curls his fingers into the front of Lance's tank, taking a step backwards and pulling Lance after him. Let's go, Captain Nova. You promised me some crappy beer, and the lines are long AF. Well, told you, it's very short. It is very short content, so there's nothing else right here. It's just a very small little piece of the content you get. That's why I have to follow that part. That's why I follow what I'm doing. If you want proof, here's the proof. So this is the proof right here that I'm going to remake. I remade it. This is 2017. This is 2017 here. And then 3 years later, I'm about to do a rereading of this whole thing. So that's why we're part 5, and this one is very short. This next part, again, is a little longer than the first one. And then some other ones along, it's going to be some very small parts. Yeah, maybe so, maybe not, but you get the idea. Okay, so, oh yeah, so far they finished the Volbeat. Now we're in the middle of something, okay? There's something in the middle of, this concert thing, so we're going on to the next band. I don't know what's gonna be the next band. It could be event. Yeah, it's event sevenfold if I remember when reading this. Yeah, event sevenfold should be the next band to come in, and then they'll just have some overpriced drinks. There's some overpriced drinks when it comes to concerts. There's some foods, maybe another foods. I don't know. Nights can be long too. Yeah, that's something. If the beer is a little crappy, then that's not the way you want to get drunk enough because it's not that good. Anyways, that's it. See you in the next part. Bye.